Ryszard Grajek was born in 1952 in Gniezno. He lives in Poland. A graduate from the University of Business and Computer Science in Biala and the University of Economics in Katowice. He has published poetic books and his poetry has been included in several Polish and international anthologies. His poems were translated into English, Russian, Bulgarian, Slovak, Romanian and Telugu. He is a promoter of poetry and poets. Ryszard Grajek is the manager of the Slavonic Poetry Festival organized since
Namaste. Hi. Cześć. My name Ryszard Grajek. My poem Festiwal Życia. Myli się ten, myśląc, że to bajka, zły sen, pandemii pęd. To na tym świecie być albo nie być. Strachy używano, by ludy, by mali się bali. Przygotowują się wielcy, i ja też. Oni by mieć, ja by żyć. Człowiek nie grupy całe, choć mały, wytrwały. Cierpliwym być nie dane każdemu. Pokaż, że Tobie jednemu. Festiwal życia trwa. Czy to tsunami, potop, czy wirus, świrus. Nie dajmy się. Nie, o nie. Horyzont. Droga daleka. Siły w duszy, umyśle, choć ulotne, przetrwać dziś COVID-19, by festiwal życia trwał.
Tariq Mohammad is a multilingual poet, writer, author and critic. He writes under the pseudonym of M. Tariq. He was born in Kolkata, India, but settled in North Carolina, United States of America. He writes the romantic poetry with themes that reflect ancient and modern history and historical figures. A self-published author of Mumtaz, The Making of the Taj Mahal, Mr. Tariq frequently travels to India for attending poetry festivals and conferences.
Namaste. My name is Tariq and I am going to recite my poem for the 13th GIPF. The name of my poem is Exodus. A time comes when the native leaves his land. Sometimes alone he migrates, oftentimes in a band. He flees his forefathers' precious beloved soil, which they had nourished with vigorous toil. At times he travels in a well-planned journey with joyous expectations. Adieu, he bids his family. Tear-filled eyes of parents and friends close, he undertakes that journey to an unknown shore. Perhaps the adventure will bring an abundance of provisions, meeting its demanding absence. His departure, though tearful, is still a jolly occasion, and his return is the family's eager anticipation. But then an occurrence of a sinister cataclysm that compels man to abandon hearth and home. perhaps a natural catastrophe bringing distress, or some tyrant demanding his pound of flesh. His hurried departure in the dead of night, with few belongings and heart-wrenching fright. This time there is no gaiety in his excursion. Never to return he decries his lawless expulsion. Thank you very much.
Pramila Khadun is a poetess from Mauritius. She has to her credit 13 books, among which one is the bestseller. She has contributed her poems in more than 100 international anthologies. She won the Royal International Prize for Writing and Literature in 2014.
Hi everybody, Namaskar. Today I'm going to recite my poem exclusively written for 13th GIPT 2020. The title of the poem is COVID-19. Buddha says that all composite things are perishable and we should strive for our own liberation with diligence. In these days of COVID-19, when nations at large are suffering and scientists are taking long to find a vaccine, people are losing dear ones, and the echoes of their cries are clearly heard in distant shores. Every sunset knows a sunrise, and every end of the tunnel knows light. Maybe humanity will see light after wilting and withering in terrains hot and dry without a ray of hope. Amidst this marathon task of survival, humanity's inner self, re-engineered, revolutionized, realized the meaning of existence, an existence where all men are brothers. And man is higher than what he thinks. Our perceived differences evaporated, and we came to the unarguable conclusion that humanity is one. We stood like a stunned rabbit, stuck in front of COVID-19's light that liberated us from darkness, changing the course of a whole lifetime. Replenished with an inexpressible joy and satisfaction, together we realize that love, understanding, and compassion are the requisites of a good life that will help us find our liberation with diligence. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
Dr. Aprilia Zank is a lecturer in creative writing and translation theory from German. She is a poet, translator, and editor of anthologies. Aprilia writes poems in English and German and has been awarded several prizes. Her most recent poetry collections are Barefoot to Arcadia, translated into Telugu and published in India, and her beat collection entitled Reading the Signs, launched in the USA in 2019, where she was awarded the title Dr. Aprilia Zank.
Namaste. I'm Aprilia Zank from Germany, and I'm going to recite my poem entitled Amphan 2020, exclusively written for the 13th Guntur International Poetry Fest 2020. Amphan 2020. The black umbrellas are as futile as the white mouth protection. You can choose your death, have your chest besieged, by an army of mutants or by the raging floods of the century storm. There is no social distancing in the bunker. No water, no food, no air to breathe. Outside, the air turns to tornadoes, tears apart precarious shelters of hope, while water morphs to stone to break the ribs of grief-stricken chests. On the crest of the four elements, wrathful gods of multifarious faith teach penitence to unheeding humans. Thank you. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Dr. Sunil Alagama is a 65-year-old poet, translator, freelance journalist and writer. He is from Western Province, Gampha district, Sri Lanka. He was invited by the selection committee to recite his poem. Freelance journalism is his favorite thing. Writing poetry is parallel to his main interest.
Namaste. I am Sunil Alagama and I am going to recite my poem entitled Hunger Deaths, exclusively written for 13th GIPF 2020. Hunger Deaths. Alas, the barbarous virus that has confined us in cells is none other than COVID-19. You are just a peculiar menace, wrapped inside many houses, disguised as a venomous serpent. The hide-and-seek game you play with human beings is winning. COVID-19, you abruptly invaded the world and started eating human bodies. Ultimately, left our bellies with no food but a painful hunger. No one in the world can rate the value of such freedom that we enjoy to fill our stomachs with meats our tastes. Nevertheless, the virus has taught the powerful nations a great lesson. The act of extinguishing hunger of the poor is noble. At the same time, the act of shedding bombs is barbarous. Meanwhile, the powerful nations had never felt the importance of hunger. They always had excess food production and used to do away with the rest. All the poor felt uneasy hunger during the lockdown. They planned to save food remaining when they woke up in the morning and tried to fill bellies with water. The food was taken care of as they were unaware of the lockdown. During the first week, nobody distributed food. The sick doubled the screaming with empty stomachs. Weeping and cursing filled up the air of each house. It is sad to say that hunger helped demons to dance in empty stomachs, as the poor met with no means of earning due to lockdown. The poor people had to just look at vendors with empty pockets. The ultimate result was untimely deaths of the poor. Thank you.
Anna Czachorowska is a Polish poet, author, and cultural animator. She published 7 volumes of poetry entitled She Was a Rose, You Are Winter, Touching Happiness, This Love for the Door Knocked, Before the Sun Goes Down the Slope, and many selected poems. They were translated into 11 languages all over the world. She took part in many international poetry festivals.
Hi, I am Anna Czachorowska. From Poland, Legionowo. I am going to recite my poems. Impossible. Impossible will become possible, and a dream may come to life. When these veins malicious creations will not crawl out like a snake from under the leaves. Everything will become simple and easy when a cynic link will not break a chain of hearts. Those kind, those tender will fulfill the dream, and the day film come again.
Izabela Zubko is a Polish poetess, journalist and translator. She is an author of 11 volumes of poetry. Her poems were published in many newspapers in Poland and abroad. They can be found in many anthologies too. Izabela Zubko is a winner of numerous poetry competitions. She is a member of the Union of Polish Writers and Associations of Culture. She was awarded Decoration of Honor Meritorious for Polish
Nazywam się Izabela Zubko i przeczytam wiersz pod tytułem W pamięci serca, napisany specjalnie na Międzynarodowy Festiwal Poezji w Guntur. W pamięci serca. Myśli skradzione za rogiem, przy niedomkniętym oknie, podsycają nadzieję. Obudzone wolnością, oddają przeszłość w ręce niezapomnienia, tęskniącego za jutrem, które zmienia czas.
My wife, Izabela Zubko, has written her poem, written especially for 14th Guntur International Poetry Festival, entitled In Heart's Memory. Thoughts stolen around the corner and the IR window fit my hope. Awakened by freedom, give back the past into hands of not oblivion, yearning for tomorrow which changes the time. Thank you and greetings from Poland.
Thank you very much.
K.V. Rednam is a 71-years-old doctor born and raised in Visakhapatnam. He did his MBBS in 1973 and MS Ophthalmology in 1976 from Andhra Medical College. He lives in USA since 1976, serving as a specialist in retina vitreous surgery, practicing in St. Louis, Missouri. He was married to Chandrakala and blessed with 3 children and 6 grandchildren. His entire family, all the children and grandchildren, are doctors.
Namaste. I am Dr. Rednam Krishna Rao, and I am going to recite my poem, Compassionate Medical Care of COVID-19 Chaos, entitled exclusively written for 13th GIPF 2020. Hooray, hooray for the bravery of COVID-19 medical workers facing deadly tasks every day. Contagious COVID virus hard to avoid even by avid doctors with sanitary precautions. It is hard to forbid the virus droplets in the air from being inhaled to infect anyone. It is not possible to refrain the virus in droplet rain showers without a perfect virus filtering mask. Rapid RNA coronavirus proliferation infects whole body to disable many fast, but sick and seniors' life may not even last. With every breath of life contaminated with virus, some are diseased, while some unfortunate few are deceased. Survival of the fittest is the model. The best fits corona pandemic. challenges faced by the medical personnel, the real angels to aid the sick in spite of self risks posed is an exemplary social service. Without a decent cent of wages, medical team waged an unprecedented war to save afflicted souls from corona chaos. A micrograin goes viral to spiral the community into calamity to drain life and economy in a blink. Corona leaps from infected to go beyond leaps and bounds to affect naive with lethal corona knives. With the advent of modern immunology, doctors strive to invent preventive immunization, but so far in vain as immunity in chaotic mutiny. The selfless doctors, nurses, social workers with all preventive precautions by chance may even fall victim to corona monsters. Hats off to the glorious service of medical team handling day and night to save public life from agony of lethal corona, the modern day pandemic plague whose vagaries are vague.
Dr. Madhu Kamra is a bilingual poet, author, critic and a motivational speaker. She is the former head NAC coordinator at Durga Mahavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. She has 35 years of teaching experience and double PhD holder, PhD in English and PhD in stylistics. So far she published 3 books and another 1 book is in the press. So far she supervised 14 PhD scholars and she is a referee for PhDs to various universities.
Namaskar. I'm Dr. Madhu Kamra from Durga Mahavidyalaya, Raipur to recite my poem exclusively written for 13th Guntur Poetry Festival 2020. The poem is titled as Looming Death. I begin with the poem. The vulture-like sea of death gnaws all as monstrous fear. The frenzied flight flurries indoors, locked barter, looking all-seeing, locked bargain, locked labored smiles, little rest, little resilience, more sorrow, little peace, little power, more panic, the invisible vulture troubles solidity. The mariner's moaning minimized on adoring ugly creatures swim, blessed benediction, bare brunt, his horrid hellish sin, will sameness in style supplicate attrition, exemption and atonement. Thank you so much. Thank you Naga Sushila and Gopichan for giving me this opportunity, and my praise for good health to prevail all over the globe. Thank you so much.
Kevin Montoya is a seminarian, Filipino writer, World Peace Ambassador and multi-awarded poet from the Philippines. He is also a member of numerous poetry groups of local and international and moderator of many poetry groups including the English Poets with over 170,000 members. His works are published in many international anthologies and he received many awards in writing. He wants to bring the pride of Filipinos in the field of poetry and wish to promote literature in the world.
Namaste, I'm Kevin Montoya from the Philippines and I'm going to recite my poem entitled Courageous Heroes in the Front Line, exclusively written for the 13th Guntur International Poetry Festival 2020. In grief, we are being shadowed with fear, not in euphoria. Like thorns in our souls of this pandemic from Eastern Asia. Here come heroes with no cape, saving mankind from fright you escape. To restrain the spread, the country's been locked down. In despair, some cities turn into ghost towns. Courageous heroes in the front lines to fight, battling an enemy that's nowhere in sight. We stayed at home, you leave yours in a mission, rendering your very selves with complete dedication. Hail to you, frontliners, who give the highest respect, denying yourselves for us to protect. Far away from home, missing your family, while your children waiting for you eagerly. Instead of spending time creating precious memories, you are out there courageously fighting for our country, sacrificing yourselves for thousands of people in humility, brave fighters of dreadfulness and against mortality. You bring hope to our nation. You deserve more than recognition. Heroes with no name, I admire your fortitude. I render you salutes with my humble gratitude. Because of you, our hope is getting stronger. Because of your bravery, our dear frontliners. Thank you for your heroism and compassion. Rest assured, when I get old, I'll tell the younger generation of once you became our hope and inspiration in everything you made just to save our nation. For I know you're also crying but you hide. Despite your fears, you remain strong, but still you cry. Your great efforts, selflessness, and bravery will forever be written in our hearts and memory. Salute to the doctors, nurses, police officers, government leaders, and to all other brave frontliners. You are the real heroes during this time. Thank you for your selfless service being in the front line.
Saga Kataria is a bilingual poet, critic, novelist, short story writer, painter, photographer, and an electronics engineer. Self-employed, got settled in Amritsar, Punjab. Writing is his foremost passion. Whenever time permits during the regular course of life, he inks his heart to share the same with his personal diary. Poetry holds a special place in his life. It gives him tranquility and happiness to cherish the peace for him.
Hi, I am Saga Kataria. The name of the poem I am going to recite today is Corona Wave. I stood on the seashore watching the high tide. Was bliss as water caressed my feet and side. Could hear loud wails crying COVID from inside. The corona wave suddenly creates a big divide. The corona wave suddenly creates a big divide. Must not fear, as this wave would go back soon. Such pause for the world seems like a new boon. Started in December, and look, it's already June. The corona wave brings along an evil typhoon. The corona wave brings along an evil typhoon. Rich, poor, it has spread like wildfire in the sphere. The new rage in the town is don't come near. Imagine how the vaccine will carry a loud cheer. The corona wave is killing us with a sharp spear. The corona wave is killing us with a sharp spear. Economy is in shambles. Migrants are on the street, walking barefoot to their home, nothing to eat. Today, neither anyone wants to greet nor meet. The corona wave is the spy we need to defeat. The corona wave is the spy we need to defeat. I appeal all to help the needy in this crucial time. Not wearing masks, not washing hands is a crime. Let us fold hands and pray together in one rhyme. The corona wave will merge in our poetic chime. The corona wave will merge in our poetic chime. Love and unity can still bring peace on the earth. Life is so precious, money doesn't carry any worth. Who knows, God is testing our mettle in this birth. The corona wave can never take away our mirth. The corona wave can never take away our mirth. The corona can never take away our mirth.
Aruna Lakra is an Indian from West Bengal residing in New York City, USA. She is a full-time working woman and a mother. Though her degree is specialized in marketing, she has a great passion for literature and writing. Her basic aim in writing is to touch and soothe human souls with her simple words, love, multiculturalism and diversity. She loves music and traveling.
Namaste. I am Aruna Lakra. I am going to recite my poem entitled Anamorphic Times, exclusively written for 13th GIPF 2020. Anamorphic times. The world seems anamorphic right now. Came from the east a virus named Corona, but we don't know how. A theory of rat or the bat, still a puzzle, but made all eyes to perpetually drizzle. The fumes of Wuhan flew to India via Japan, touched Italy, America, over the Alps of Switzerland. Young or old, salvation for none. It just swept what it had begun. Human wagons, one after another, carrying the infected, mourning the mother. Dead bodies piled for vultures to dine, curse to the world as prophesied one time. The days are still better as we hear the birds twitter, but nights are ghastly as death knell sounds vibrantly. Empty benches, deserted streets, no laughter, no greets. Social distance is the law. Masks on face, the Mother Earth saw. Washing of hands and sanitizing, more precious than food hunting. Lockdown syndrome prevailed, all human touch derailed. Amongst this pandemic pandemonium, surprisingly, nature dressed and bloomed in full, as no human to tease and pull. Cherry blossoms, tulips sway, squirrels and goats on streets astray, whereas man's legs tied in domes, as fear and death roams. Temples locked, churches closed, someone we love, his eyes just closed. O Lord, how much more breath needs to be stopped to clean this earth of the purity robbed? The universe is deluged by human tears. Hope this curse soon disappears. We helpless humans, let's raise our eyes to the Almighty who never denies. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr Rangarajan Gopalalkrishnan and I'm going to recite my poem, Morning Walk. I walk with a mournful gait to a destination of my choice, but know not my own destiny. Yet bound am by my calling to serve as a patient doctor. To me and my tribe, the whole world is a theatre, and our masked operations aim to cheat death that robs human lives, piling in sepulchres. Our weak armors, ever reinforced with our grit, and the merciful angels, equally fatigued, serve all who deserve. Though beleaguered, with crossed but sanitized fingers, forward we march to exorcise a wrathful pestilence and recover the forgiving smile of Mother Earth.
Jernail is a bilingual poet, author, critic, philosopher, spiritualist, environmentalist and a column writer. He has authored 65 books of English poetry, fiction, non-fiction and spirituality. He got retired as principal and acts as an honorary position of Professor Emeritus at Belgrade, Serbia. He has co-innovated the theory of biotext in critical theory along with an Iranian scholar, Dr. Farsi. He was president of the World Poetry Conference organized in October 2019 in Bathinda, Punjab, India.
Hello dear friends, I am Dr. Jernail from Punjab, author of 70 books. I am thankful to Madam Naga Sushila ji, Shri Gopi Chand ji for inviting me to this online festival of poetry. Thank you very much. Here I contribute my poem Plague. It can be related to COVID also. Tell me if one thing made by man is not dangerous. Tell me if one thing made by man is not dangerous. Compare electricity with the sun. It kills, and all that it works works to make man selfish and proud. the more dangerous. Everything that the sun ripens has a mellowing effect on human nerves. Our comforts are like flowers, make us happy and die. But comparison ends here. Dead and faded flowers return unlike human beings. Dead and faded flowers return unlike human beings gracefully to the folds of the earth. Even if they rot, even if the flowers or the leaves, even if they rot, they fertilize the womb of the earth to hasten fresh growth. Not so with things men create. Not so with things we create. They give comfort. The things that we create give comfort but spread plague. Not so with things men create which give comfort but spread plague, even while alive. These things, even while alive and even when dead, objects of mankind add but to the dread. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sudarshan Sharma is a bilingual poet, author and critic. She is a former reader of the University of Delhi, New Delhi. She is interested in gardening, interior decoration and hosting. She resides at Gurgaon.
And Sudarshan Sharma. The poem I am going to read is Corona Beti. Pandemic Corona is dreaded by the young as well as the old. The very hint of the affected scares off the weak as well as the bold. Taking all the precautions, this demon we have to fight. Surely we shall overcome with grit, determination and foresight. Corona may be a curse. It's not impossible to beat it. Many victims have come out better than the unaffected and more fit. Their plasma can be a cure. The gained immunity is a blessing. They should be gracious enough to offer it, should not keep anyone guessing.
Dr. Kedarnath Sharma is a bilingual poet, writer, critic, author, satirist, philanthropist and reformer. He is the director of Samrik Institute, Gurgaon. He is an ex-Air Force Education Officer, retired professor of Dayal Singh College, New Delhi. He attends poetry festivals, conferences and seminars. He published many anthologies of prose and poetry.
I am Kedarnath Sharma. The poem I am going to read is entitled Mental Corona. At 85, both of us thrive with kids, good health and name. We are the ripe fruit, brimming beehive. What more one wants to claim? When I am no more, please don't bore friends praising me with zest. Modest life I had, it wasn't bad. Let my soul in peace rest. Researchers' determination and passion assure us an early extermination of coronavirus. When corona recedes, rejoice not. Stay at home, no handshakes. Keep social distancing, no choice, or else corona rakes.
Geethanjali Dilip is is a published poet with 4 co-authored anthologies between Moms and Sons 1 and 2 and the virtual reality, plant poetry, float poetry, and her solo anthology Geethatma. To her credit, in collaboration with several prolific and talented poets and her solo anthology Geethatma, Song of the Soul.
I'm Geethanjali Dilip, and I'm here to render my poem COVID for the Guntur International Poetry Festival 2020. COVID. The other side of the fence is always greener. Greener than what your eyes could wonder. Wonder why your side somehow appears duller. Duller because there is so much more to aspire. Aspire, but not let go of your own roots. Roots that know of the soul and soil and grass shoots. Shoots like opportunity in a ship's siren that hoots. Hoots because you're looking for greener pastures you to uproot. Uproot, yet all the maladies, dogma and misnomers. Misnomers that lead to hate, intolerance and misdemeanor. Misdemeanor that spreads disease as a pandemic will devour. Devour sanity, normalcy and reason, causing debilitating power. Power pushing exoduses of yearning feet desperate to earn. Earn so scorching sun leaves no footprints that burn. Burn diaspora as a mere virus called COVID this world shall churn. Churn clocks as unsung heroes toil that we don't discern. Discern that a pandemic can kill indiscriminately in a second. Second truths that human bodies are praise thickened. Thickened planes to doom humanity, so time to mend. Mend ourselves with discipline as on clarity and sensibility we depend. Thank you.
Captain Professor Basudev Pal is an associate professor in English at PMS Mahavidyalaya of Jalpaiguri, West Bengal. Parimal Mitra Smriti Mahavidyalaya has been his academic perch gleefully roosted since 1976. Pal's relentless effort in perennial pursuit of poetry will hopefully grow stronger with the times. The range of understanding of his poetry by readers could only fall in a perspective of his own.
I am Basudev Paul, reading my own poem, Migrants. God's creatures of the poor lot they are. Their little education prompted them to opt for such a precarious situation. Browbeating has been their lot now. Neglected, they have been like the fig. No higher-ups are behind them. The dispensation could not realize the gravity. The pandemic has been the set indicators. Now the admin is biting nails for them. No proper record is there to the government. Unaware of it, politicians scramble among them. Solution they don't cogitate. They bungle the state. Mudslinging has been diffusive. Poverty is their intrinsic curse. No messiah is likely to save them from starvation. Only painting on the chest is the way of the world. Who to go, who to blame, what to curse. Just watch talk show on the TV and see the circus. See their degeneration from the rich niche to the cesspool. Thousands of migrants with blisters walk along. A wallet, a baby on the shoulder, they trudge up the street. The wife follows their clue and moves silent. Boxed in a real world, tragedy betides them. Drained out, they lie on the unsafe railway track. Open sky overhead, emptiness everywhere. A procession of the hungry weight all over. Who helms to protect them from sheer death? Lathi-charged by police, they upstarts at times. No cessation, no palliative measure for them. Towards home has been their last hope. They have been undaunted now. Why not? They have nothing to lose. Appeasement is the only mantra. They groan. No time to stand and share. They want food. Action is the only way to their security. Family. Fundamental has been the duty of the government for the safety and bare necessities of life. Is there any silver lining on the migrant laborers? Is this their motherland they were born into? Mocking ambition has been the reward they get. Thank you.
Dr. Hitendra Goyal is professional assistant professor in the Department of English in J. Narayan Vyas University, Jodhpur, a trilingual writer, poet, critic and a passionate actor. Published 6 research papers, 9 poems in national and international journals. Wrote a book of English poetry named Fragmented Fury in 2019. Widely invited for motivational lectures and deliberations on communication skills. Awarded by Master of Creative Impulse and Performing Arts World Poetry Conference, Battinda. He trains orators and debaters. He is a sincere reader, writes in 3 languages.
Namaste. I am Dr. Hitendra Goyal from Jodhpur. I am going to recite my poem entitled A Migrants Agony, exclusively written for GIPF 2020. Here I go. A Migrants Agony. Hunger took me to the cities vast, leaving the soil, the bond, the relations past. My legs propelled me into the realm of stony people's fake charms. The visage of kids shone in the eyes, spreading smile on my lips. The toil tries to construct a home of innocent dreams, putting some bricks of hope each day screams. Meager food, road to sleep, torn clothes, blistered soul, empty pocket, roofless homes could never slacken the mighty zeal and tendency of moving on without meal. I beautified the lawns lavish, I built the home's hues, I treasured the gardens green, I cleaned the roads rough, I repaired the machines magnificent, I served the people proficient, I always stood for humans high. I also wanted to soar in the sky. I was honest, pure, and sensitive. I had to become a runaway, a fugitive. The attack was invisible on the world, but I was attacked by the world. The whole world is fighting on a single front. I am open and helpless at all the fronts. No food, no water, no job, no shelter, no love, no care. I am broken and absolutely bare. Aimless wanderings, uncertain life. How do I deal with this sudden strife? The village calls and stretches the arms. There floats in the eyes the home's charms. The distances dreary are dared by the feet. I start an enterprise arduous to complete. Unfed stomach wails in pain. The eyes are stone, no dreams to contain. The legs lose the rhythm of walk. The tongue is parched. How do I talk? The heavy, long last breath, and I fall on the way. O world, you take care. Stay healthy, wealthy and gay. O world, you take care. Stay healthy, wealthy and gay. Thank you.
Maria Kubreska is an awarded Polish poetess, novelist, journalist, editor and an author. She edited many volumes of books both in Polish and English. Her poems have been published in numerous anthologies and magazines in Poland and abroad. Her volumes were translated into many languages in the world.
Maria Kubreska, Poland, 2020. The sky cracked. The rider of apocalypse set out to the earth. Horse hooves scrambled human pride and insolence. Terrified people locked themselves in their homes. There are no fingerprints on shopping carts. Smiles on their faces are hidden under the masks. Old values are gone. For power, beauty and money, one can't get oxygen. The idea of humanitarianism broke down when lacked the respirators. Invisible enemy is lurking in the brief, in the touch of hand. It hides in tears. Kisses and touches are deadly weapons. During the epidemic, act of supreme love is not visiting old parents.
Antonio J. Rivas Millian is a poet and author of several publications, member of organizations and groups of poets locally and worldwide, Venezuelan retired engineer, now a scientific researcher, author at the National Academy of Sciences of the U.S. engineer, former engineering professor at the University of Carabobo, a former teaching Central University, a long curriculum as a professional and teaching management and business industry, scientific research at international.
Living with Faith by Antonio J. Rivas Millian from USA. An invisible shadow is in air, an invisible storm is in earth, it cleaves each corner of life. COVID intimidates me, a tear is falling. An invisible shadow is in air, an invisible storm is in earth, it cleaves each corner of life. COVID intimidates me, a tear is falling.
There is a fierce battle. There is a fierce battle between me and COVID. There is a fierce battle between me and COVID. It leaves me in a turmoil. It leaves me in a turmoil. We will live with hygiene. There is a fierce battle between me and COVID. It leaves me in a turmoil. We will live with hygiene.
The abyss is around me. We must walk with take care. In the intimacy in our side, intimacy makes me care you, makes me care all humanity. The abyss is around me. We must walk with take care. In the intimacy and in our side, intimacy makes me care you, makes me care all humanity.
A voice inside, I am obeying all the religiously. I am obeying all the religiously. It's a prone to live with resignation. My companion is a pain. By this horrible pandemic, we together overcome it. A voice inside, I am obeying all the religiously. It's prone to live with resignation. My companion is a pain. By this horrible pandemic, we together overcome it.
We will live with hygienic. We embrace it again. To caress and release the life we are living. Intense danger in air. It drives me to care. We live with hygienic. We embrace it again. To caress and release the life we are living. Intense danger in air. It drives me to care.
Don't being insane. Don't being insane. All the wounds reflect some nostalgic long moments. All the wounds reflect some nostalgic long moments, to take an unceasing way of hope with the faith. Don't be insane. All the wounds reflect some nostalgic long moments, to take an unceasing way of hope with the faith. Thank you.
Elisabetta Bagli was born in Rome and lives in Madrid since 2002. She is a bilingual writer and an author. She writes poems and short stories. Her poems have been translated into several languages. She organizes literary presentations in Spain and in Italy. She is a member of the jury of several literary prizes. She is active in contributing reviews and interviews to different blogs.
Hi, I'm Elisabetta Bagli. I'm going to recite my poem in Spanish and in English. La corteza del mundo. ¿Tú qué me ofreces? ¿Tu sueño o tu sombra? ¿Tu futuro o tu pasado? ¿Un beso perdido en el aire desvanecido de la noche o el rechinar de dientes en la certeza? ¿Tú qué me ofreces? La memoria de senos suaves en los que languidecer o tu vientre cadáver que ha elegido la oscuridad en la que creías ser una nueva tú. ¿Tú qué me ofreces? me ofreces un alma suspendida en la corteza del mundo, un alma que implora piedad por haber terminado el infinito. The crust of the world. What is your offer? Your dream or your shadow? Your future or your past? A kiss lost in the vanishing air of the night, or the gnashing of teeth in certainty? What is your offer? A memory of soft breasts on which to languish, or your dead belly that has chosen the dark in which you believed to be a new you? What is your offer? You offer me a suspended soul on the crust of the world, a soul who implores mercy for having finished infinity.
Oke Olarewaju Iyanu is a Nigerian-born writer and a spoken word artist. For the past 5 years, he has developed a great interest in literature. He is currently a student of English language and literature in the University of Lagos, Nigeria. His hobbies are reading, eating, writing, and traveling.
Hi, my name is Oke Olarewaju Iyanu. I'm going to recite my poem titled Pandemic. The strangeness of this time seeped into every nook and cranny of our life. Our feet walk past its prime. Gory stains filled our city. In this time of flux and rage, in the shambles the globe now dwells, we experience the winter of our age, and man's heart engrossed by distress. Its arrival clamps a curfew on our capital, with no means for survival. Being with us drive no joy but cry and heal. The song we sing bring no revival. As we clamor in agony, yet we pray for the dove of tranquility to come back to stay.
N.K. Sharma is a bilingual poet, critic and author, joined as lecturer in English in 1970 and got retired in 2007 as head of the Department of English, Dean Students Welfare from PG Modi College, Patiala. He served as in charge in the Department of Correspondence Courses, Punjabi University, Patiala for 10 years as part-time lecturer. He started a poetry group, Poemarium, on Facebook. Now it has more than 8,000 members. He published 15 volumes of octets, 4 volumes of long poems and 1 collection of swivel nonnets.
Sea, all at sea. Kuch Corona, Dr. N.K. Sharma. In wake of fatal fare, facing novel scare, each driven to lair, all three stare. In wake of fatal fare, facing novel scare, each driven to lair, all three stare.
Awake, awake, lethargy shake, for mankind's sake. Out is a hydra-headed snake, all ache, lives at stake. Awake, lethargy snake, for mankind's sake. Out is a hydra-headed snake, all ache, lives at stake.
Lust for supremacy and polluting piracy leaves limp legacy and acrid aristocracy. Lust for supremacy and polluting piracy leaves a limp legacy of acrid aristocracy.
Praise this humble verse, check this viral converse, or witness hers of this universe. Praise this humble verse, check this viral converse, or witness hers of this universe. Thank you.
C.
Edwin M. Cordvilla is known among the media circles, received the 16th Gawat Tanglo 2018 award as the best newspaper columnist. Cordvilla taught journalism at St. Beda College and practiced communication and branding consultancy on the other side. Cordwilla is the author of 5 books, 3 poetry books, a conceptual historical book and 1 coffee table book. The most recent of the poetry books, 10,000 Lines Project for World Peace, is a long poem which surpasses English.
The following poem is entitled Deathware. It is an excerpt from legend, an epic in progress. Taal volcano spoke. People thought that was it. A speech that threatened to clog the air passage. But in truth, it was just a warning of a yet an upcoming plague that would directly attack human breathing. Unlike the spewed volcanic ash though, this time it was invisible. Its great terror sending nations small and mighty to a standstill. Death tolls rising throughout the world, breaking crowds into individuals. Those who believed death was a myth come face to face with the reality of the end. Casualties in their own neighborhoods. The streets where the angels of death walk by. Suspects that taunt them of mortality. Fire trucks dispatched go into motion, storming thoroughfares. With water cannons, as if trying to cleanse cities of their sins, and people are sent indoors. For once, families become families again. Those who threw out their youth into oblivion in exchange for moment pleasures and careers find themselves left at the mercy of death's genocidal scythe. While somnambulists in clockwork routine appear to have awakened from a long dream, now start praying for their lives. Leaders who thought they were strong and invincible, rendered weak and isolated by the invisible assassin code. Proud gurus of mysticism and sciences cram for answers that evade their methods. Death's hunger, thirst, and fear hover over continents, mountains, seas, and islands. Human carry the code of their own extinction, the entire civilization humbled. By nature's tiniest armies. Orgies of shared scenes now replaced with paranoia, for death's shadows move and multiplies in the mob. For the assassin advances until there can only be one before God. Each and every one before God. But many still remain deaf to the message. Many remain blind to see. The mysterious breath of death haunts and haunts everyone in enclosed and open spaces, where the nearest person may yet prove to be death's very messenger. But this cannot be the end of the world. Not yet. Though this can be a reminder of the end. The plague of biblical might. The very death were here, there, and everywhere. The kingdom of heaven drawing nigh.